So, what happens when you take ancient philosophy and plug it directly into artificial intelligence? It sounds like science fiction, right? But in Thailand, a really groundbreaking project is trying to do just that, embedding Buddhist principles into AI to completely reshape how a government works. It's a huge idea, and it kind of begs the question. And really, that's the core question driving this whole thing. I mean, in an age where we've got so much political division and technology is just moving at a dizzying speed, these guys are asking if the answers for tomorrow might actually be found in wisdom from thousands of years ago. To get how they're planning to pull it off, we've got to start with the very unlikely team-up that started it all. All right, so this whole experiment kicks off with a partnership between two powerful and, you'd think, totally opposite institutions. One is all about modern politics, and the other is steeped in ancient philosophy. So on one side, you've got King Prajadhipok's Institute. Let's just call it KPI. This is basically Thailand's national think tank for public policy, for lawmaking, the whole shebang. And on the other side, Mahachulalongkornrajavidyalaya University, or MCU, which is a top Buddhist university that's all about peace studies. This collaboration is a genuine collision of two worlds, the nuts and bolts machinery of government meeting the deep contemplative world of philosophy. Their shared mission is to raise up a new kind of leader for what they're calling a virtuous democracy. Now, this isn't just about making government run on time or having fair elections. Nope. This is about building a system where leaders actually operate with a sense of ethical awareness and compassion, trying to create a society that isn't just orderly, but truly just and peaceful. So, how in the world do you actually train someone to be that kind of leader? Well, that brings us to their answer. A totally new way of thinking about education that they call the Learn One, Get Two model. Here's how this Learn One, Get Two pathway works. It's pretty clever. Students start out at the political think tank KPI, and they get a certificate focused on how to build a peaceful society. Then, and this is the cool part, they can take those credits and slide right over to the Buddhist University, MCU, to keep going for a master's or even a PhD. It's a completely integrated curriculum designed to create leaders who are just as fluent in public policy as they are in peace studies. And this whole program is really built to teach one crucial skill, structural awareness. This is where you can really see the Buddhist influence kicking in. It's all based on this idea of interconnectedness, that nothing exists in a vacuum. So for a policymaker, this means really getting that a single law can send ripples across the whole pond, affecting the economy, the environment, and people's lives in ways you might not have seen coming. And this focus on awareness brings us right to the heart of their philosophy, creating what they call the mindful leader. It's not just about what these leaders know, it's about how they think, and more importantly, how they make decisions. They call this concept mindfulness innovation. The idea is to take principles you'd normally find in meditation, like being aware and not immediately judging, and apply them to big strategic decisions. So picture a leader thinking about a new policy. Instead of just reacting to political pressure, they would mindfully step back, check their own biases, and assess all the potential impacts, good and bad, on every part of the system. The hope is that this leads to much more thoughtful and compassionate governance. Ultimately, the vision here is to rebuild democracy from the inside out. The idea is that the pillars holding up the state shouldn't just be laws and institutions. They should be deep foundational ethics like justice, compassion, and a real respect for human dignity. And this philosophy, it turns out, extends even to our most modern tools. And now we get to the most futuristic, most mind-bending part of this whole project. This is where that ancient philosophy gets literally programmed into artificial intelligence. So what on earth is Buddhist AI? This is it, Buddhist AI, or Putta Panya Pradit in Thai. The whole concept is to build an AI that doesn't just calculate but operate within an ethical framework. And that framework comes from core Buddhist teachings, specifically the Eightfold Path. This path includes things like right understanding and right action. So in AI terms, that could mean programming the system to analyze a policy's ethical implications, not just its economic ones, making sure its actions are designed to cause no harm. So what would an AI like this actually do? Well, its core job would be guided by ethics. It would be programmed to push for transparency in government, to constantly scan for and correct the kinds of biases we know can creep into algorithms, and maybe most importantly, to run simulations to try and see a policy's negative consequences before it ever becomes law. This quote from the project's leaders, I think it just captures the whole spirit of the thing perfectly. The point isn't to let AI take over and replace human judgment or empathy. Not at all. The technology is designed to be a tool, something that supports and boosts our own ability to make wiser, more compassionate decisions. Now, even though this project is based in Thailand, its ambitions are way bigger. They're truly global. And that brings us to the bigger picture here, because the people behind this see it as a model that could help tackle a major international challenge. Okay, I'm just going to put a number on the screen. 16. What could 16 possibly have to do with Buddhist AI and government? It represents the UN's 16th Sustainable Development Goal, which is all about promoting peace, justice, and strong institutions all over the world. The creators of Buddhist AI see their work as a direct, real-world answer to this global call to action. They're offering a brand new model for how we can build better institutions, and they're aiming to do it by completely changing how governments deal with conflict. The goal is a radical shift away from a system that's all about punishment and toward one that prioritizes things like restorative justice, healing, and compassionate mediation. It's a fundamental change in approach. And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to end on. This project in Thailand is embedding one ancient wisdom tradition into our most cutting-edge technology. But it makes you wonder, right? What could our world look like if other powerful philosophies, the resilience of Stoicism, the communal spirit of Ubuntu, the social harmony of Confucianism, what if those were used as the ethical blueprints for the AI that is absolutely going to shape our future?